Audio Jungle.
Hey Hoosiers, this is the Indiana District Communist Party USA. We are going to cover the National Party's statement on the war in Ukraine, since there are a lot of conflicting and inaccurate analyses of the situation in mainstream capitalist media. It's important that a Marxist-Leninist Communist Party have their view put out there, as it is the only view that really represents the interest of workers. So I'm just going to start off and go through the statement that was passed by the National Board of the Communist Party USA. This was done on February 25th of this year. CPUSA calls on the U.S. people to demand the Biden administration change course immediately. War is never an acceptable solution and must be rejected in the strongest terms. Therefore, we also call on Russia to withdraw troops. All sanctions must be ended and borders secured and respected. The saber-rattling, sanctions, and selling of wolf tickets in recent weeks, as the CPUSA National Committee meeting recently warned, have spilled over into open war. Russia's invasion of Ukraine threatens catastrophic consequences. There is no doubt that the longstanding attempt by U.S. imperialism and NATO to bring Ukraine into the military alliance has heightened tensions. In the recent period, this effort, along with providing military supplies combined with Cold War rhetoric, is a backdrop to the crisis. A lasting peace is not possible unless Ukraine remains outside of NATO. Russia's ruling circles have their own national designs, and the outbreak of war will only make matters worse. The present crisis has been long in the making. The historical context reaches back to the end of World War II, the Cold War, and the formation of NATO. However, the issue roiling today's strife is the fact that the presence of NATO and U.S. bases, military forces, and missile systems put Russia's western border under continual threat. Over the past decade or so, Lithuania, Poland, Latvia, Romania, and Estonia have provided a home to these formations, maintaining a constant war footing. This is in complete violation of agreements made at the end of the Cold War that NATO would not expand eastward. NATO's expansion now includes not only Poland, Hungary, and the Czech Republic. By 2004, 7 additional countries were added. NATO once numbered 12 members. Now it comprises 28. Furthermore, NATO military alliance is looking at Bosnia, Herzegovina, Georgia, and Ukraine as possible future members. Another factor to be considered in the current crisis is the fate of the 4 million Russians living in the areas of Lugansk and Donetsk, Ukraine. Agreements reached in 2014 with respect to their autonomy have never been implemented by Ukraine's government. These regions opposed the 2014 US-backed coup that overthrew the elected president of Ukraine, Viktor Yanukovych. For their opposition in 2014, the separatists were attacked and killed by the Azov Battalion, a military detachment of the Organization of Ukrainian Nationalists, Bandera faction, a neo-Nazi outfit. Some sources estimate the casualties at 14,000. This is the context of the Biden administration and the corporate media will not talk about. Again, the U.S. must change course. Our country is facing a serious political and social crisis that the fanning of the flames of war can only exacerbate. The praise of the invasion as wonderful by former President Trump implies that the U.S. should invade Mexico. We could use that on our southern border. That's the strongest peace force I've ever seen, was his horrifying statement. The serious problems of climate change, lack of health care, low-wage jobs, and institutional racism challenging our working class cannot be solved while the U.S. spends billions each year on maintaining a massive military force and weaponry and on NATO. Consider that billions could be found from the military budget, but Build Back Better is said to be too costly. We, the members of the Communist Party USA, unequivocally join with peace forces around the world in demanding no expansion of NATO, no deployment of troops, no war on Ukraine, no war on Russia, no war, period. The future of the planet depends on it. Thank you, comrades.